All right, hey y'all, Captain Shane, Grippenless Fishing. Back by popular demand, I'm going to start doing some more how-to videos and tackle review videos. Today's video, to start off this little series, is going to be my top three go-to baits for redfish. These are artificial lures, obviously. So my top three baits. Um, Probably the most obvious that a lot of people know about is a gold spoon. Don't really matter to me what brand of gold spoon I use, but a gold spoon. The great thing about a gold spoon is you throw them up in the grass, pretty much throw them everywhere. They're almost weedless. You're still going to get some grass on them, but for the most part, they'll pull through the grass and everything pretty good. Of course, um, I at least go with a half-ounce size. I actually go bigger than a half ounce, but at least a half ounce. I want that casting distance, and I want the little bit bigger profile. And even though gold is probably one of my favorite colors, I call them all gold spoons, but I use every color. I'll use silver. I use gold. There's even some with designs on them. I'll use that. The main thing that redfish it's gonna be a reaction strike most of the time. So basically, the redfish is sitting there in the grass or in the shallows, whatever. When he sees that flash come by him and he feels the vibration from this thing, most of the time it's gonna be a reaction strike. But now they will chase these things down. The cool thing about them, sometimes I'll be out there fishing, and you're fishing the shallow water for these things. You throw up in the shallows, you're bringing it through. You'll actually see a wake. You'll see the waves coming from some of those giant redfish, and you know they're about to hit this thing. So that's going to be the first one I'm going to show you. And these aren't any particular water, but a gold spoon, definitely one of the best things to use for redfish. All right, the second one is a chatterbait. And of course, you can use the chatterbait with the skirts. The ones I prefer, though, are the ones made by Delta Lures. I don't know if you can see this. Delta Lures. Um, they make all kinds of stuff. They make lures also with spinners. They make spinner baits. They make all kinds of things. I like Delta Lures a lot. But it's a chatter bait, but with a plastic body. And this happens to be matrix shad. It's just another. It's a soft plastic, but this happens to be a matrix shad. In fact, this same exact lure right here, it's got teeth marks on it. I had a couple of guys come in from Texas, just a couple of days ago. We did a guy trip. They wanted to throw mostly lures, so we went out into the shallows and everything, and that's what we did. It was pouring down rain. In fact, I've got my tackle in there drying out from all the rain. It was basically like a monsoon, but we fished our way through it. They had a couple of bull reds. We probably had about 10 total. Couple bull reds. The rest were, average to decent sized redfish, and most of it was caught actually on a chatterbait. We threw a spoon some, but I think almost all the redfish were caught on a chatterbait just like this. The great thing about a chatterbait is, first of all, the vibration. When you're fishing with a chatterbait and you're pulling through the water, this blade is going to move back and forth. It's causing vibration. Of course, I use these for bass fishing a lot. They're great in the wintertime because of the vibration thing. Wintertime, early spring, stuff like that. But they're going to have vibration. The blades, of course, you're going to have some flash off of that. This is the gold blade, which is the one I prefer, even if I am doing bass fishing and stuff like that. So you got the vibration. The second cool thing about these are you can work them slower. So in other words, you can throw them out there and actually reel these things kind of slow. As long as you're keeping it off the bottom, you can work them slow. A lot of times if you work these really fast, they're actually going to kind of spin on you and stuff. They'll kind of spin and flop around. So you just want to throw it out and do a slow to a steady retrieve. The vibration it puts off is awesome, and redfish eat these things up. They're awesome. You can change out and use any color you want. We were fishing in dirty water the other day, so I've got we were throwing the chartreuse color on there, and it worked great. In fact, like I said, there's paint missing off of this one and teeth marks all over it from bull reds and stuff we were catching the other day. All right, my third and probably my number one all-time redfish catching bait is a plastic cockahoe. These are the H&H, and this also happens to be probably my number one color of all time, which is a tuxedo. I haven't even opened. This is a brand new pack, so I haven't even opened it, y'all. Get this open for you. They call it a tuxedo color. It's basically just kind of like a natural looking color. So this is it. That's what it looks like. It's just kind of black on top and like a pearl on the bottom. And what you do with these, you're going to throw it out on the bottom, let it hit, and bounce it. You rig it up just using a jig head. This, I think, is a 3/8 size. I do like the bigger jig heads when I'm casting these, when I'm bouncing plastics on the bottom. One thing, like I said, casting distance, I can cast it further. So in the wind, because the wind's been blowing down here in Louisiana for like 3 months now, it's about to drive me crazy on all my trips. But so I normally use a 3/8, and basically you're gonna rig it up just like this. You start it's just like if you do crappie lures, or they call them sockeye down here in Louisiana, or any other swim baits, soft plastics. You're just gonna put it through the head like this and run it to about halfway or maybe a little past halfway. Just bring it out of the back and push it up onto the head. That's basically what it's going to look like right there, y'all. So the way I work it, throw it out, let it hit the bottom. You're gonna reel your slack in, obviously, pick up on the rod tip. It's gonna go up, and then just let your rod tip fall, and it's gonna fall. And when it falls, of course, it's gonna have the tail's gonna be doing the swimming action on the way up, but they're normally gonna hit it on the fall. What it's gonna feel like when they hit this thing, it's gonna be a thump. You're gonna feel a thump on the end of your rod, and that's the fish bite. So sometimes they'll just grab it and run with it, but you're gonna feel a thump. When it does, just reel in your slack, set the hook. But this, over the years, is my number one redfish bait and number one color. Obviously, I throw it everywhere, even in the grass, but you're gonna get some grass on it. But stuff like hard banks, stuff like banks with shells on them, or the hard mud bottoms and stuff like that, you can work these things really good. It's slower, so you're not gonna, fishing something like the chatterbait and the spoon. You can definitely get a lot more cast in per area because you're covering water more. These is going to be slower, but you catch so many fish doing this. A lot of times on my sight fishing, this is going to be my go-to thing. If I'm going down a canal or going down a bank and I see that redfish out there, or I see that redfish going up the bank, you can throw this thing out there in front of him, bounce it once or twice, and he is going to annihilate it. So this is probably my number one over the years. And like I said, gold spoon, you cannot go wrong. Always have a gold spoon tied on. You just can't go wrong with a gold spoon. It's tried and tested and proven. And a chatterbait, y'all. So if I could only have 3 redfish lures, that's going to be those. And or that's going to be what they are. So I'm going to see if I can dig up some footage, y'all, of me catching fish on these, just so y'all can see. It might not be the exact color on the plastics, but I'll see if I can dig up some footage of me sight fishing with some plastics, me throwing a gold spoon and me throwing a chatterbait, and see if I can put those little snippets in the video just for you to see it. The video turned out to be a little bit longer than I thought, but anyway, guys, please subscribe to my channel. Still trying to grow that channel. Share this video. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. I'm going to leave a link at the bottom of the video in my about with my website. So if you do want to book a trip, just go on there, look me up on the website, and talk to me and book a trip. The fishing is awesome down here, even with the wind blowing 60 miles an hour every day for 3 months. We're still catching fish. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for everything. It's a big boy. First cast. Saw that one. Woo!